It looks like we have about another minute waiting, and I'll wait another minute and then I'll get started. Did you hear that?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yes.
I have 12:30. Good afternoon and welcome. I hope you enjoyed the morning session and the vignettes that were presented. I'm Susie Miller from Allegheny County. My chapter is Gamma Delta, located in the beautiful Blue Ridge Mountains of North Carolina. And you can imagine what it looks like now with the fall. We just have gorgeous color. Would each of you share where your location and where you're from?
Morehead City, Gamma Zeta, Region 2, in beautiful coastal North Carolina.
It is beautiful.
That's White Poetry Rank and Beta Beta, Greensboro, North Carolina.
I'm Kimberly Stokes, Theta in Wilmington.
Diane, Tina, Upsilon, and Jacksonville. Hey, Susie.
How you doing?
Deb Christensen, Alpha Zeta, Union and Mecklenburg Counties.
Hey, Deb.
Dee Snyder, new chapter, Catawba County.
Susan Blackburn, Delta Chi, Wilkes County.
Lisa Frisson, Greensboro Beta Delta chapter. Sorry, I think I was talking about
Hey, June.
June Van, Morehead City.
Hi, June.
Allie Mae, Zeta, Forsyth County.
I can't get my camera to work. Sorry.
Carol Boston.
Thomas, Beta Kappa, person in Durham counties.
Carol Boston, new chapter, Catawba County.
Anna Mayer.
Charlotte, Alpha New chapter, Burke County.
Betty Mayer, Chi chapter, High Point. I'm not sure that you can see me.
And Anna Moose, Alpha Nu, Burke County.
Pamela Sams from Gamma Chi in Cabarrus County.
Christina Wilkins, Lambda chapter in Robinson and Scotland County.
Doris Littlejohn, Gamma Gamma, Scotland, Robinson County.
I'm Trudy Farnell from Alpha Beta in Johnston County.
Jeanette Carafano, Kappa, Charlotte.
Lawson Gorman, the Ada chapter, and person in Durham.
Christy Whitworth, Gamma Upsilon in Transylvania County.
Start video.
Olivia Wakefield, Harnett County, Phi chapter.
Dana Thomas, Alpha Theta, Surrey County.
Deborah Almanza with Gamma Epsilon in Jones County.
Jill Jackson, Alpha Lambda, Hendersonville.
Sherry Willis, Alpha New chapter, Burke County.
Sylvia Quinn, Beta Phi chapter, Wilmington.
Well, it looks like we're well represented from all over North Carolina. Thank you so much for joining my session today. W is for well-defined programs. Okay, the next slide.
Give me just a second. I've got a lot of people that are still in the waiting room as they're coming in. So.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll wait to get started for them then.
All right. How about that? Can you get the next part of it now? Do you see the guidelines?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. I think I've got everybody in now.
Okay, great. Well, thank you again for joining well-defined programs today. And as a past chapter president, I know how stressful it can be to find 4 well-defined programs for the year. You need to choose someone who will inspire your members and keep them engaged. I found it extremely helpful to have input from my executive board as we set the calendar for my 2-year biennium. If you invite the state president and the regional director, You only have to schedule 2 other people to present your programs for that year because the state president and regional director always do an excellent job. Check out your chapter achievement requirements to help you plan, and you receive points from the chapter members if they present a program. So know who your members are and encourage them to prepare and present a program to your chapter. And use the NC DKG theme to help members stay focused on our state guidelines. Anyone have any questions about the beginnings? Okay, next slide. I have a tech with me. She's helping Sherry set up our Zoom meeting, and she's got everything running smoothly for me. So programs that promote leadership, there are 4 main emphases for our chapter programs. The first is promoting leadership. Any of these would be great presenters for your chapter programs. You could also prepare a program of recognition to celebrate their accomplishments. Do you have other ideas for chapter programs that would promote leadership? Anyone want to share something else that they have used in the past that promotes leadership as a program for your chapter meetings?
We have the chairman of the Board of Education in our chapter, and she has presented for us, especially during this election year.
Excellent. And then she's also an elected official.
Right.
So counts towards your chapter points as well.
Right.
Anyone else?
As far as leadership goes, we've had state representative and our state senator come, along with members of the media, a newspaper owner, and a radio station owner come and speak, interact with our members, and give their own presentations, very short.
Great, because that's also an elected position too.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's wonderful. And they do promote leadership, and they are in leadership positions.
Yes. And we also have a member who's running for the Board of Education. We also have another member who is on the Town Commissioners Board.
Yeah,
So,
we have 3 members in our chapter who are on the Board of Education, and we also have another one who is running for board for this year too. So
it's exciting.
It is exciting.
And I'm sorry I can't start my video.
Okay.
We've had the president of the community college to present at our group. That's obviously not an elected position, but it's the only post-secondary institution in our county.
Yeah, but that's still great as a leadership position and promoting leadership. So that's wonderful. Okay. The next one, the second focus are programs that encourage and promote personal and professional growth. Again, recognize your members who have accomplished growth with advanced degrees and who have been recognized for accomplishments. Members with longevity in your chapter. We have so many talented ladies. Have a member talent show. Display their paintings and quilts, their floral arrangements, photos of their gardening talents. The list is infinite. Can you think of other programs that would encourage personal and professional growth?
We had Mary Ann Steins, who travels to Europe. She didn't go this summer, but has been house sitting in Europe for the last 3 years before the COVID came in. And she spoke about her travels and how to travel cheaply in Europe at one of our meetings, and kind of ignited the desire to travel in everyone.
Wonderful.
And how to do it cheaply.
Yeah, that's great, because that again is a personal and professional growth, because we have DKG representatives in 17 countries, so that's fabulous.
One of our members did an exchange with China as she is a principal, and brought back a video and some slides about her experience there, the differences and comparison contrasts.
Excellent. That'd be an excellent program.
Also, I made pins for our members for the quintennials, so in increments of 5, along with certificates to honor our members celebrating anniversaries. And it's pretty neat because we get to remind them of when they first joined.
Yes, that's great.
One of our chapter members' daughter had written a book, and our group met and did a book talk about her book, and then came up with a list of questions that were forwarded to her, and then she did a Zoom meeting with us and talked about her book and her writing process, and how she came up with her ideas and things.
Oh, cool.
Fabulous. That's an
It was
excellent.
Catherine Snow Smith. I don't know. Her father is A.C. Snow, that wrote articles for the News and Observer for many years.
Mm-hmm.
And she wrote about things that happened in her life, and some of them were very funny, and some were, very heart-wrenching and things. And title of the book just left me, but anyway, it's a new book out, and it's like a collection of like short stories that have to do with being, Southern and things.
That would be a great program. Anything like that.
I'm sure if she would come, if your chapter was interested, I'm sure she would do a Zoom meeting with you all too.
And that's the one fabulous thing about Zoom right now, because you can be anywhere and join in with a Zoom meeting. So you don't have to travel from the coast to the mountains. You can just join in and do something from there. That would be excellent. So if you know of someone like that, then you can invite them to your chapter, no matter where they are or what state they're in as far as that goes, or even what country. Okay, the third focus area is enhanced global awareness. On our chapter achievement guidelines, we're awarded points for programs on Schools for Africa. You may use the videos from the DKG site or speakers who have been to Africa. And some of you just talked about speakers that had been to China and into Europe and things. So, there are those out there that's been to Africa and studied in Africa and taught in Africa. So, you could invite them, especially with Zoom now. You can invite special interest groups from your area. In our counties, we have a special group that teaches children about Appalachian music and dance. It's called JAM. And then we have a chapter that's had a meeting this week by Zoom where one of our members, Cindy Atwood, she prepared a wonderful video of a historical museum in Allegheny County of the history of our chapter, how it began. We were once part of 5 counties that grew and were able to form 3 new chapters. The needs of the community and other countries would be desirable programs for chapter meetings. Some of you like to share some other ideas about promoting global awareness?
We have the daughter of one of our members who was a Fulbright scholar to, I believe it was Malaysia, which was sort of a risky area to go to. So she shared slides for her trip when she got back. Her mother was really glad when she got back, because some of these countries are not really open to Americans, but she really shared a lot of the different cultural aspects of where she was, the school that she was working in. So that really opened our eyes to how different some of these places are and some of the risks that are involved in some of these countries.
Exactly. Wonderful, wonderful program.
We had a lady at our chapter has a person in her church who came to speak to our group about how she finished her education. You know, she started it and there was a civil war and all the obstacles that she had to overcome before she could get her degree here in the United States. We have had, one of our teachers brought her orchestra students to perform for one of our Christmas bazaars that we had in Southern Pines with Gamma Sigma. And we've also had the Temple Teens, and they do have a really strong children's drama class. And we are looking at maybe possibly getting somebody from there to present a program. And we have a former member whose daughter is in music therapy. And she's going to present to us about working with a middle school child. So looking at other people who are working in an educational setting, even though they may not be, quote, a teacher, we try to capitalize on that.
Excellent. Wonderful program ideas. The last emphasis is physical, social, and emotional welfare. You may use the NC DKG and international websites for suggestions. There are programs listed you get many ideas from. If you have specific your chapter or your community, invite a healthcare provider to present at your chapter meeting. We had a nurse present a program on diabetes and someone who speak on the value of clean water and how water benefits our bodies. If you remember, I think it was under Let's Sparkle. One of the focus was clean water. And so we did that then. If your community has concerns and observes health concerns like heart attacks, cancer concerns, you can use the health officials to address symptoms and care. We've had several of our members who have are survivors of breast cancer. So that would be an excellent program on symptoms and suggestions and care to have, and always to remind everybody in October to receive their mammograms. Do you have any other ideas for programs on the welfare of our members and families?
Our first virtual meeting was October 1st, and one of our members is the school nurse supervisor in Lee County. And she's worked very closely with the health department and the school system with the COVID and that kind of stuff. And she was also going to talk to us about the flu, making sure you get your flu shots. And many years ago, we did have a school nurse to come and talk about nutritional values, such as when you look at the food labels on the boxes to see the nutritional value and things like that. So we've had several people in the community and members who have participated in programs like this.
I had my personal trainer come and give a presentation on senior exercises and things that my members could do to stay healthy.
Wonderful idea.
We had someone from the health department come and talk about food control portions and things like that. And she brought us all kinds of brochures and a little plate to show us what we needed to use for control and everything. It was really nice.
That's wonderful. Everybody needs to stay moving and being active. Okay, this slide is just a calendar of cancer awareness months. And so if you had a meeting in any of these months, you know, you could always pull this and get someone to come and be able to talk to you about cancer awareness and choosing hope, and that there is hope for all of us. I know as a cancer survivor myself, all of those ideas and all the programs that you can have to make people aware and to get treated early and get diagnosed early is so important to survive. I think we skipped one. We go back one slide to community needs. There we go. Thank you. The community needs is another wonderful way to have a program for your chapter, a quality program. Each county has a variety, These address some of the concerns for Ashe and Allegheny counties. I'm sure some of you have specific concerns in your county that you can add to this list and that we might also be able to use. Anyone like to share?
I'm a guardian ad litem.
And they're requesting those because they're having so many right now.
There's so many children in foster care.
Yes, exactly right.
Our chapter has participated in the Dolly Parton Imagination Library. And we've given up to probably $1,000 or more. And in Robeson County, well, Gamma Gamma is Robeson and Scotland. We only have 2 people from Scotland still part of that group. But they would have Dancing with the Stars. And we would pay a certain amount, maybe $100 a table or $250 a table, so that they could, members could, you know, go and join in with the celebration. But that's how they would raise a lot of money for books for children. So it's been great. We still do this project.
That's excellent.
We
That's
have
important. Literacy for young children is very important.
one of our literacy projects is a spelling bee, where we have teams in the community to spell, and using the registration money, we purchase books, Goodnight Moon for every new baby and the baby's family. And also, a couple years ago, we actually had some extra money, and we started a literacy grant for teachers of Lee County, and the first 4 of the 8 go to beginning teachers. And one other topic, we have a huge number of children who are homeless. And so we had the social worker come and speak to us about the numbers of homeless children and what services are available for them. So that's one of our community needs in Lee County.
We've had fun goods drives for the domestic violence shelter, also for the Miriam House, which is a local house run by a former deputy sheriff, and she shelters in women who are former drug addicts trying to find their way. And we also had a goods drive, school materials drive, for an after-school program at the Boys and Girls Club.
Awesome idea. Domestic violence is way high on the list as well.
We've worked with Bright Blessings. It's a social organization completely unfunded by any government agency. It's all volunteer donations. And we've worked with them a couple of times to provide literacy materials for younger children and baby items for mothers in need. So that's a great organization. It's called Bright Blessings, and they provide birthday parties for homeless kids in their school setting, so that they'll have a juice and a snack and a little treat to pass out to all their friends, just like everybody else who has a birthday party, you know, and has a home to have a birthday party in. Another thing we've done is for years we have collected Pop Tops for Ronald McDonald House. That is a real thing. It's not a scam. And every 4 pounds of Pop Tops provide 1 night's free lodging for a family who has a child in the hospital. And over the years, we've had more, in the past year, we've had more than 20 nights that we have donated just through collecting Pop Tops. And, you know, asking neighbors and friends and other people who have assisted us, you know, by saving their Pop Tops too. We also help we do a lot of community things. Another group that we work with would provide Christmas stockings for homeless children. And we've collected books for their summer reading program so that every child has 3 books to call their own for the summer. So we're very busy with a lot of different activities that way in the community.
That's wonderful. We also do a backpack for program where we provide children's literacy books to go in their summer backpack programs going home during the summer, so that every child can come in and choose different books to go home with that. And so you can't list everything on the slide, and each community has different needs. Like our counties do not have a lot of homeless, and so we don't have homeless shelters. Or we do have one church that does like a food kitchen on Wednesdays that provides a meal a hot meal for a lot of people. But every community has differences, and Jeanette, I'm so glad that you shared several of yours. Does anyone else have anything they'd like to share with community needs?
Yes, since schools are not meeting in session, but last year when they were, we did a backpack for high school students. What we found is they don't ask for a lot of help, but we had a couple of teachers that were aware of students at a high school level who really needed some assistance, and we were able to help support that, since sometimes the high school population is overlooked in terms of those teenagers who may need assistance, but as you know, lots of times they are not going to ask for it. So that was successful for us. I'm not sure what we're doing this year because of the fact some schools are in session, some are not. So we're looking into it again.
Excellent idea, because a lot of the high school students, the older students, are left out. A lot of people do a lot more for the younger children and middle school, but you're so right. I'm so glad you all did that.
One of the things when Wake County had their holiday thing and all 8 chapters came together, people brought things that were needed for the Backpack Buddies program, the kinds of items, that food items for that. And this was not something my chapter did, but my Sunday school class did, but I was going to talk about it with my with the DKG chapter, is we have a community college in Wake County, and lots of your counties probably do too. And there are students there who are, just aged out of the foster care program, and they're trying, to get an education, and they have absolutely nothing and, no support. And we provided things for them, like somebody didn't have a bed to sleep on, and so our Sunday school class purchased a mattress, or they didn't have clothes or things for money for their books and things. But we kind of tend to forget about those kids that are out of the public school, but they're trying to better themselves, and when they hit 18 they don't get any support.
Wonderful idea, and it's certainly wonderful that you're partnering with somebody to help those children and or those young adults, because and there's nothing wrong with that. You can partner with Sunday school classes or other organizations, and as long as you're part of DKG and your chapter and working with others, that's a wonderful way to get more help for the community. Anyone else have anything to share?
Susie, I'd like to share about a project from the Alpha Nu chapter, which is Burke County and Caldwell County. We have supported our special needs Girl Scout troop for a long time, many years ago, over 20 years ago. I think a young lady that was a teacher in the special education classroom of one of our middle schools began this troop because there was no place for girls of special that had disabilities to be a part of Girl Scouts. So now she has over 20 some odd girls, and then the ages are from 13 to age 40 now because they've been in it for so long. But our Alpha Nu chapter supports the troop in so many ways. We have volunteers that will come in and work with well, right now with COVID-19, they're not meeting, but in the past we've had members to volunteer during the meetings to offer special crafts, special things that they're good at. We had a painting party last year or a couple years ago. This year, we're planning to collect some of their needed supplies because the leader spends at least over $100 a month just gathering supplies for these girls. So that's one of the projects we'll be doing this year. But we'll also in the spring, hopefully, if COVID-19 is the restrictions are lifted, we plan to do an outdoor cookout with them, presenting maybe a special craft, special program, music, that sort of thing. But it's become a wonderful, wonderful outlet for our chapter to connect with this particular Girl Scout troop. And now the leader of the Girl Scout troop is a member of our Alpha Nu chapter. So it's been a wonderful project for us.
That's great. I think there's a DKG badge, isn't there, for Girl Scouts?
Yes, and we've been working on that. Yes.
That's wonderful. Wonderful programs with community needs with that. Okay, and our last slide is on member safety. You could have well-defined programs on any of these for member safety. If you use elected officials to present a program, I've already talked about a little bit, you receive the chapter achievement guidelines and points for that. And then there's just so many things that members need to be aware of at this time that's in our community. I just got a Social Security scam call yesterday, and I called our Sheriff's Department and reported that. So there are so many scams that's going on, and especially now with the COVID and different things they're doing. Do you have any other suggestions that for member safety?
I've had the sheriff come and talk to our members about guns and teaching. As you know, that's come up from time to time as a hot button item, and he told us about some of the background and what would be entailed and so forth. It was fascinating.
I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
Our sheriff has come and talked to us about senior scams, and that has been amazing too. Oh, somebody just commented that they were encouraged to report the security scam call to the FBI. That may be something I'll have to do too with that then.
Yes, I made the report. This is Michelle Tucker Thomas, and I made the report starting out with our state attorney general's office, and with the documentation that came in, and so that's from that office is where I was recommended. It's who recommended me to report it to the FBI. So there's a sheet that you fill out to be able to file that complaint. So I filed a complaint and with our state attorney general's office, and then they actually had me to try to file the report with the FBI, so that way they are aware of these international scams are happening.
Right. Wonderful. Thank you for sharing that. Anybody else have anything else with member safety? No, you've seen a lot right now about women driving alone and being careful about pulling over and making sure you're in a safe area to pull over, because so many of them are not legitimate. And then also, I just on the sex trafficking, saw the other day that they were coming kind of in groups and will take your children from you. 2 of them will subdue you while a couple of them take the children and just leave, and there's absolutely nothing you can do about it. So, just be real aware of your surroundings and what's happening and going on. Does anybody else have a comment about member safety? Well, I hope that this has given you some ideas for well-defined programs, and I think this will be recorded and put on our NC DKG website for you to go back and pull up. And be sure to go to the international website, because there's lots and lots of program ideas that you can use and be able to pull in for your community needs. I appreciate each of you for coming, and gosh, it says we have 55 participants, so much for coming and joining, and I hope I've given you some good ideas. Thank you all for your input and having ideas to share for your communities, and so other people can use too. And I just appreciate each one of you so much for attending today.
Thank you, Susie.
Thank you, Susie.
Thank you, Susie.
Thank you all for coming. I really appreciate you being
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Great job.
Thank you.
Have a wonderful
Thank you.
next session and a blessed weekend.